Hi, you're welcome to the Race Pro Plan Tour. I'm going to be showing you how you can take advantage of the features in this plan to successfully close your fundraising round. Let's get started. Now, within the deal room, there are three main features that you can use to successfully close your fundraising round. The first is the deal room feature. Now, with the deal room feature, you're able to display all the details about your company and the details of your fundraising round to investors so that when an investor comes into your deal room, they're able to see the important details of your fundraising round and, of course, details about your company. So, getting started with the details of your fundraising round. The first thing you need to do is invite an investor into your deal room. Now, you can do this by sharing this link and inviting them directly through with the investor's name and email, and of course, just sharing out the invite. Once you share out the invite to an investor, they automatically get a notification and they can get access to your deal room. But before they get access to your deal room, we share an automated non-disclosure agreement that we share with the investor, of course, to be able to protect you and your company because this investor will be having access to sensitive information about your company. Now, once they get this information, they of course will be given access to your deal room. Now they can view this information about your company. So then coming into your deal room now, they're able to see the terms of your fundraising round. This includes the progress you've made so far with your fundraising and of course your target amount to fundraise, the instrument type you'll be using to fundraise, the valuation cap that you've placed upon for your company, the discounts you'll be using for your fundraising, and of course the date that your deal closes. Now, with this information, the investor knows the specific details about your fundraising round. In addition to that, these investors are able to simulate their round. Now, what does this mean? The round simulator basically means that an investor is able to see what they get in return for the cash they'll be investing in your company. So let's take for instance, I'm an investor and I intend to raise 500,000. I intend to commit $500,000 to your company. As an investor, when I simulate this round, I'm able to see how much I get in return. Of course, the price, the specific details about your fundraising round. So details like the price per share, how much ownership percentage the investor gets in return for the cash they invest in your company, and the investment value after the round is closed. So these are the things that an investor is able to see after they simulate the round. So that refers to the investor simulator feature. Now moving to other features in the deal room, which are details about your company. You can populate details about your company, such as your company's mission statement, your company's market size, your business model, your value proposition, and unique market insight, and of course, details like the members of the team that you're working with. In addition to that, you're also able to upload details about your financial performance. This includes details like your previous financial performance history, your current financial standing, and of course your projections for the next few years. In addition to that, you can include details about your pre-money valuation. Now, uh, other details that the investor will be able to see are details like details within your cap table. So, of course, this involves details around all the types of shares you have, your post money saves, the employee share options you've created, and of course, your seed shares. So, of course, these are things that investors like to see before they go ahead and make a commitment to your company. This is why we've been able to create a platform that would make the process seamless for investors to just come in and view all details about your company. I mean, as a founder, you're able to populate information about the milestones you've achieved and of course make it possible for investors to download supporting documents that will help them make the decision to to invest in your company quicker. Now we move to the next feature, which is the scenario modeling tool. Now, with the scenario modeling tool, you're able to plan ahead of time for your future round. This basically means that if you're raising your pre-seed round, you can use the scenario modeling tool to model that particular round. And when you're done with that, you can also model the next round after that. What does that look like? It looks just like this. So, as you can see here, this particular founder has been able to model different rounds within his deal room. And the best thing about this tool is you after you model the round, you can then see how it directly affects your cap table, right? So the idea behind this is for you to first know what first of all understand how your immediate round affects your cap table, and of course how your next round after that would affect your cap table. This gives you information as a founder on what your ownership structure would look like after you're done fundraising. And of course, it keeps you a few steps ahead, and also helps you prepare for future engagements. Now, the last tool we're going to be going through is the Investor Insights tool. With the Investor Insights tool, you can think of it as an analysis tool. It basically gives you information on the interaction that you have from the investors you've invited into your dorm. For example, this founder has invited 21 investors into his deal room. And with these 21 investors, he's able to see the total amount of funds that each investor has committed or is interested in committing, the average investment that they have made to the company or they are looking to make to the company, the investors' conversion rates, and of course, who these particular investors are. So let's go down to the nitty gritty. So for each investor, you can see the number of times an investor has visited the deal room, the dates they last visited the deal room, and of course, the documents they looked at and how much they simulated. So for every investor, you're able to see specific details about their interactions with your deal room. You can even go further by clicking by viewing more details and the timeline around this activity. As a founder, this gives you information on what what to do in relation to investors. It helps you know which investors to pay more attention to. It helps you also know which investors are more interested in making a commitment to your deal room. As you can see here, out of the 21 investors that have been invited to this deal room, here 6 of them have been the most active. And of course, as a founder, you're more inclined to give attention to these investors because they've interacted more with your platform. So these are the things that you can do with the raise deal room. Lastly, we're going to be discussing the ownership structure in relation to issuing digital certificates. Now, within your cap table, your once you automate your cap table on the platform, you can of course see the name of each shareholder, the share class each shareholder belongs to, the amount of diluted shares they have, and of course the percentage of ownership that they have. Now, with this information, it's a lot clearer between you and the shareholders in your company what their shareholding structure looks like. Take for example, this shareholder, Mr. Usman Abiola, he has been issued a digital certificate. This means that Usman Abiola can see the specific amount of shares he has within his share certificate. And of course, this just brings clarity. It also instills confidence in the shareholder because there is an evidence there's evidence for the shares that he holds within your company. And of course, this certificate contains all the details, all the information and terms that guide the shares that he holds within your company. So of course, these are the things that you can do with the raise deal room and of course the raise cap table management tool. I hope I was able to answer your questions, and of course, feel free to reach out to the team if you have more questions about the deal room.